Welcome to an all-new episode of the Hot Pit presented by Water Warrior Restoration. In this episode, we're going to talk to super late model driver Devin Gilpin and discuss his recent win at Brownstown Speedway and other stuff that he has going on. Let's talk to him. All right, welcome to another episode of the Hot Pit presented by Water Warrior Restoration. And today we have the driver of the familiar yellow and orange super late model, Devin Gilpin. Devin, thanks for joining us.
Hey, buddy. Thank you for having me.
We're going to talk a little bit about your win Saturday night because, like we talked about a little bit off air, you did sleep a little bit better Saturday night. And we'll talk about some of the 2024 stuff so far, and then we'll just get into whatever. So, first, I want to always ask, a lot of people are very familiar with Devin, especially around this area, but how did you get started into dirt racing?
Both my grandpas raced and my dad raced, so it has always just been a staple in my life ever since I could remember. My grandpa Donnie raced when I was a little guy, and then my dad raced. So racing's always been in my life. And then I started racing go-karts when I was 5 years old, and didn't get to race them a whole lot because my dad and grandpa was racing all the time. But I went as much as we could, and then we got in a mini stock at like 12 years old, and then moved into modified when I was 14, and then raced mods, and then got into the late model stuff.
Gotcha. So far, what's your favorite to drive?
I like the late models, obviously. I like the mods. I like anything. I like them. I'm just competitive, just like to race. But, the late models are a lot of fun, and the modifieds are a lot of fun. The sprint car, the non-wing sprint car I drove a time or two. Now that's different and challenging, but I enjoyed that too.
Right. Could you ever see yourself driving one of those full time?
Yeah. I mean, it's something if I was 10 to 15 years younger, yeah, for sure. I don't know about now with kids, but
right.
I was younger, yeah.
Yeah. So what is your 2024 plans? I know there's a lot of I'm going to ask you this question here in a minute, but what's your 2024 plans as far as the remainder of the season goes?
Just hit and miss anywhere that makes sense for us. No set schedule. Just go where we feel comfortable about where we're going and have a shot at winning, and try to go where some money's at. This stuff's so expensive. You got to go where you can try to make a little bit of money, and so it helps pay the bills. But as far as set schedule, we don't have a set schedule. We're just gonna pick and choose and go to try to support James with the Northern All-Star, some Ultimate Heart of America stuff, maybe some Chris Tilley stuff, the Lucas Oil stuff when it's around, the Outlaw stuff, just whatever makes sense for us.
So that hits a point I want to discuss with you, being a local driver, regional driver. We see a lot of posts on social media about drivers changing schedules, changing plans due to financial reasons, that type of stuff. And I think you hit a nail on the head because you finished 8th at the Northern All-Star, the Ira Bastion race at Brownstown, and it paid $1,600 for 8th place. Like what's your take on that? Like, as far as we get into deeper into dirt late model racing, obviously the financial aspect of it is just getting crazy, for a regional driver, to me, it makes a lot more sense to do the schedule you just talked about. Hit on that a little bit, just because I know James is doing a great thing with the Northern All-Star Series.
That's awesome. $1,600 for 8th spot, no entry fee for one. And his pay structure is just right, in my opinion. A lot of times, like I trust me, I look at all the payouts before I head out to go anywhere, because a lot of times, all the money's on top, and then there's no money throughout the field, and there can only be one winner. Yeah, we all go with hopes and intentions of wanting to win the race, but there's only one guy that takes the winning money home. So James is doing a great job with his pay, and I can't thank him enough for that. I wish it could be a 25 race series schedule. I think
right.
the Hunt the Front bunch has showed that if you market it right, promote it right, do everything right, that, it's a second year. They're in their second year of existence, and they're paying $50,000 to win for the points, and have over 20 drivers signed up full time. So I think something like that could work around here if we got a guy like James spearheading it and leading the way for us. But for what he's done on the payout, big deal. It really helps, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And just like you talking about the hunt the front deal, their main thing is like their farthest race is 5 hours from the house or from their home area. And for you guys, that's huge because less travel means less expenses, but yet you're still running for, 10, 15,000 win on the weekends.
I really think what those guys are doing, it opened my eyes up that the first year they paid 20 grand to win for the point championship, and all the races was 5,000 and up, I believe. And then the second year it's 5,000 to win on Friday night, 15,000 to win on Saturday night at the same track. So that's big. You go somewhere and you race Friday for 5. The truck don't leave. You stay there and you race Saturday for 15. So what those guys are doing is I mean, it shows they got, I think, 23 to 24 guys signed on full time to do it, and it's
Right.
25 races and it pays 50 grand. It wasn't just 3 or 4 years ago that Lucas Oil was paying 75,000 to win the championship, and it was like a 58 race schedule. So
Right.
what Hunt the Front's doing is really cool.
Right. I think it's really great for the racer, especially, for financial reasons. But let's talk about your win Saturday at Brownstown a little bit. So you come out in the heat race, you let everything but the last lap on the heat race. Car still looked good. Adam kind of got out there a little bit in the feature, but then it's like you just come alive in the feature.
Yeah, the heat race there, he just got the ring in the top and got some momentum built, and then I got a signal like you better get up top or you're going to get passed. And as soon as I went to the top, he was like there, so it opened the slider line up and he slid me, and he got the heat win, and then but I was still confident because our race car's been really good as of late, and it was just it was a fun race. I really Adam's a good racer and clean racer, and that was a lot of fun. I didn't really know if I was going to get him or not. It just the caution came out and it worked out, but we sure tickled and pumped to get a win finally.
Oh yeah. And then Tyler Collins was there out of nowhere, and it turned into a three car battle for the lead. And I was like, "What in the world?"
Yeah, that was a heck of a race. I went back and watched it, and it was a really good race. He started working the bottom, and he was getting off turn 2 and 4 pretty decent, but especially 2 getting off it real well, and that made it interesting. That made it fun.
Did that not remind you of like the old school Brownstown Saturday night super late model racing?
Yeah, I mean they had the infield tires moved in a bunch. He'd gotten pretty carried away with moving them way out there, and when you move way out there, it takes the slider line away because that first infield Uke tire is so far out there that you can't dive down into the 1 or 3 to make the slider, and then it kind of just it puts you at the top. And then when you come in for the feature, everybody runs down on the bottom for the first 15 laps and throws crumbs and marbles across the middle to the top, so it kind of takes the top away for the majority of the race. So I liked it a lot better with the infield tires moved in.
It just makes it so much racier and tears up a lot less equipment too.
Absolutely.
Right. So yeah, definitely. I thought Saturday night was a phenomenal race. It was really good to see that old school Brownstown vibe back in the super late models. What do you think about super late model racing in our area? What do we need to do to potentially get car counts back up, etc.?
Well, I just had this conversation with Gator the other day, and it's like you think of Illinois and what Matt Curl's doing at Fairbury and the Mars Series. He's racing every weekend, but all the tracks in Illinois has never stopped racing super late models. They've continued to race them, so they have some drivers to pull from. In Indiana, like we have one racetrack that races super late models on the regular, and like I don't know. I don't know if it's too far gone to fix. I hate to think like that, but I just don't know if like maybe the James Essex Northern All-Star late model deal might be the ticket to hit tracks in Indiana, but pull some Ohio guys, Kentucky guys, and the few Indiana guys that we do have, and do something like that. But as far as the local racing, like Brownstown's it. I mean, there's no other place that runs them. So we either got to talk some promoters into running them and showcasing the product, or or I don't know what the answer is to fix it, but I think maybe a regional series like the Northern All Stars is a start and headed in the right direction.
Yeah, it's almost like once the national stuff started up big, then it kind of like sucked the super late models out to a wider area, right? And then all of a sudden, with Brownstown being the only track running them, the pool got so small. But now that all the financial stuff's come up, everybody's wanting to go back to that regional local stuff. But like you said, it's kind of I hate to talk like that too, but is it too far gone? Like I hope not, but
I'm for sure worried about it. I think November and the election will speak volumes to what the future holds. I don't know if we can handle another 4 years of what we just went through, because I was going into 2020 before COVID. Like, there was a buzz. Like, we was building stuff. Like, people was going, and
right.
now it's just like just going to the grocery store is so expensive, and anything you do is expensive. So
Yes.
and Kenny Wallace and Michael Rigsby had a heck of an interview yesterday on YouTube, and Michael Rigsby had a good take. Like, there's just so much stuff to do now, and we're all of us are connected through these phones that people's calendars are full 12 months out of the year every weekend, and when it comes to local racing, that might get shoved out on the back burner, and they'll go to the wedding or they'll go to the birthday party or what have you, and then just come to the bigger races. So
Right.
I don't know about local racing going forward. I'm going to support it as long as I can, but I don't know what's coming down the road here.
Yeah, we talked about a little bit after the live show off air Thursday night. Me and the guys did about the streaming stuff is just if I can, we as humans are lazy these days, right? Just because of social media, that type of stuff. And I'm like, if I can just pull my phone out and watch it right on my phone and don't even have to leave my house, I'm saving the $40 to get in, the $40 at the concession stand. I mean, it turns into $100 trip, and I hate that because I'm the type of person, just like Brownstown. If there's races at Brownstown 20 minutes from the house, I'm going. Like, I don't care if it's streamed or not. But you put in that the Florence, right? It's 2 hours from us. Do I make the drive or do I just turn on my phone? It's a crazy world we're in right now.
The streaming has definitely changed racing. It's kind of twofold. Like, it's good, but for the promoter, there's definitely less people coming to the track because they can stay home in the comfort of their recliner and watch it, and it's cheaper. But on the other side of things, it does get more eyes and attention on the sport, I feel like, especially when you got like Flo and doing what they're doing. Ryan Bowling at Dirt 2 Media does an awesome job. I don't know what needs to happen on that. If it needs to be like the drivers need to get some sort of TV revenue deal like the national guys, or what.
Right.
But the streaming deal definitely has changed things, because I'm exactly like you. Like, just say streaming wasn't out there, I would, if there's a Friday night USAC race at Bloomington, if it wasn't streaming and I wasn't doing anything, I would go to Bloomington and watch the USAC sprint cars. But now
Right.
I can just sit home and watch it.
Right. Yeah.
It's made it nice, but like I said,
Right.
it's twofold.
Right. Just hit that off button and go to bed. You don't have to drive nowhere. You don't nothing. So let's talk about the 1G a little bit. Who do you all marketing partners do you have for 2024 that you want to give a shout out to?
This year we got South Central Roofing out of Columbus, Tom Pickett's guitar shop out of Columbus, and then we got Jason Clarkson Logging, who's been on board forever, and then Rick Robinson with Insole Tech. My grandpa, obviously, he's the guy on this whole deal that makes it happen at Dasco Race Supply and Wheelman by Dasco. And then we got my uncle at Blondie's Pizzeria and Pub, Ride Auto Parts, Color Me Happy by Cassie's Hair Salon, Brown Oil Services, KBC Graphics, Arizona Sports Shirts, RJ Recycling. I feel like I'm missing. Tom Tremolian out here helps us out. We got several guys, always looking for more, but we do sure appreciate what we have, and this sure helps. I don't know if we could do it without some of them.
That's what I always tell everybody. Every racer, just because they are always looking for somebody else, right? From a help standpoint. So if there's
especially
anybody out there looking for just get with the racer.
especially this day and age, like it is tough, man. It really the tires they're going up every year. Shocks and springs and just everything across the board. But it don't matter what you're talking about. It's went up. I don't care
Right.
what. So we're still making it work and we're still enjoying it and having fun and hopefully can keep it going for a few more years.
Right. So are you still in a Rocket or are you in a Longhorn now?
We're in a Rocket still.
In a Rocket still? Okay, I got you. Yeah, it seems like I don't know, man. Like I think that the Rocket, the Longhorn Rocket deal that's going on, I still say Rocket's going to make a comeback. I don't know especially at the national level, it's going to make a comeback. Mark Richards ain't going to just lay down just yet.
Well, I don't even know if it's. I think it's just a numbers game at this point. When you stack the field with 20 Longhorns and 4 Rockets, well, obviously it's going to look skewed that dominance by Longhorn.
Right.
Granted, there's no denying it. They have a great car, and they've been winning a lot in the past couple of years or so. But them Rockets, there's nothing wrong with them. They're still good cars. You put Jonathan Davenport and Overton and Ricky Thornton and them guys in a Rocket tomorrow, they're going to be up front winning races. So
right.
I think, it wouldn't surprise me if they don't come out with XR2 in 3 years and the whole field's back to Rockets.
That's exactly what I always say. Yep.
It's just, it ebbs and flows just like, and it has forever.
Yep. I love it. So here in like 2 years when XR2 comes out, there'll be like 10,000 Longhorns for sale.
Yeah.
That's the way it always is. Always. Devin, I appreciate your time, buddy. Good luck the rest of the year. I know you got some momentum going your way now. There's some bigger races coming up. What's your plan this coming weekend?
Well, we was going to go to Circle City Friday and Lawrenceburg Saturday, weather permitting. I'm really hoping we get to go up there because CJ Rayburn raced Friday night, and I really want to support that and bring that trophy home. I love CJ. And then Saturday at Lawrenceburg. And I haven't been to Lawrenceburg in a while, so I enjoy going there. But the weather don't look good, so hopefully that changes and we can get a go.
Fingers crossed. All right, we appreciate your time, Devin. Good luck the rest of the year, and we'll see everybody on the next one.
Hey, thank you, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem.